Rob, how can I really connect with my clients in communication? If you really want to connect with your clients in terms of communication, it's really important that you put the client on the first place and not your product or service. What we probably learned at school years ago is that we put our product or service on the first place. We're explaining how fantastic or brilliant or really great our product or service is. But we need to change this. We need to put the potential client on the first place. This means that we need to emphasize on that what the client has as a challenge in their daily life. For example, for my coaching business, it's really important to start questioning so-called enrolling questions. An enrolling question, for example, can be, are you done with giving your day-by-day life a 6 out of 10? Another example of an enrolling question to start with is, are you also seeking new opportunities to live your life in full potential? A last example, for example, can be, do you also have the feeling that there's much more in life as the life that you're living at the moment? If you do it this way, if you're looking for questions that your potential client is answering with a yes, there is a huge chance that your client keeps on listening to your story in terms of communication. And this means that in this way you can also build up your website. You can also build up your posts on social media. So if we are putting the client on the first place, after asking the enrolling question, the second step you can take is to emphasize what the worth is that your product or service is offering to your potential client. What is the value that it is adding to someone else's life? Because this second step is actually the answer or the solution on the questions that you've been asking them. After giving and sharing the worth and the value that is added by your product or service, after that you can focus on really describing packages or describing the type of material of the product, where it's made from, sustainability, expiry date, and also price. So actually you stop mentioning first your product or service. Hey, I'm selling mobile phones, 700 euros. You need to buy it because of pop, 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 pop. That's not how you really connect with a client, especially not for long term. So first, start with your enrolling questions. Then second, emphasize which steps you take to really add value to someone else's life. And then third, explain your product or service with every detail you would like to mention. What you will see and what you will recognize if you do it this way is that your client feels that it's taken by the hand step by step. And your client is triggered from the beginning of your website message, your social messages, because they're triggered with that first question where they need to answer yes. If the answer is yes, it triggers them to keep on reading and reading and reading. This is my biggest sharing. So stop focusing your communication primarily on your product or service, but start focusing on your client and your potential client. If you do that, the client feels seen, and from that, there is also a bigger chance that the client is going to come in action with asking more inquiry, with also buying your product, but after the sales also in ambassading your product, because you are explaining which problem is there to be solved. Please implement this as soon as you can. And if you do this on a repetitive base, you will see and experience that it's really paying off. I wish you all the luck of the world and go for it. Change the way of communication and you will see that it's going to be beneficial for you and your business. Thanks for being with me.